What's up everybody, Royal Rapids here, and today I'm here for a different type of video. As you guys know, I usually do Let's Play videos and other videos of the sort, but today I'm attempting different things with this channel. Let's Plays are fun and all, but I always want to make videos like these. Today, I'm going to weigh each generation on its main story, remakes, and anime adaptation, although the anime adaptation isn't going to factor hugely into my decision. Without further ado, here's my top 7 Pokemon generations. Yeah, Generation 6. What an amazing graphical upgrade. Other than that, I didn't find anything good with it. That's all I really liked it for. Pokemon X and Y games had a really bland story at best, which I think was because they spent so much time on the graphics they didn't have enough time to put on the story. Overall, kind of boring games. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were much better than X and Y, but they were just remakes of games that I kind of liked, but I've kind of overplayed, as I'll get into later. So I didn't really enjoy those much. I only ever played Alpha Sapphire once. So the Generation 6 games were mediocre at best. Now onto the anime adaptation. Pokemon X, Y, and Z is overrated beyond belief. Everyone loves it, and I can't really see why. I kind of found it boring, and doesn't really fit in well with the rest of the anime. It doesn't really reference any outside generations. And it was an okay anime, but it wasn't as great as everyone thought it was, in my opinion. Overall, I really do like all the generations, but this one was by far worse than the rest. Coming in at number 6 is Generation 1. Now, I understand that these games were very good for their time, but they do not hold up well today. The story and the plot of the games were fine, but the mechanics, such as Psychic Type being broken, are not good at all compared to today's mechanics. If you want to play Generation 1, play Fire Red and Leaf Green. They're much better versions with much better mechanics. The anime adaptation was very classic, loved by most. It was very funny and one of my favorite series. Also the favorite series of many other people. Overall, Generation 1 started it all, and I'm grateful for that, but today does not hold up well at all. Coming in at number 5 is Generation 3. This is the generation that I've likely played the most. When I was a lot younger, I didn't know Visual Boy Advance could play games for Game Boy and Game Boy Color, so I played Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald tons of times. They were pretty good games, but not my favorites. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, on the other hand, were excellent games, but it doesn't do enough to lift these out of 5th place. Generation 3, in my opinion, was kind of overplayed, so it sort of killed it for me. The anime adaptation of it was okay. I enjoyed it a little bit, but it's not my favorite. Overall, Generation 3 was a pretty good generation, but not my favorite. Coming in at number 4 is Generation 5. These games were great. They had a good story, second best in my opinion, and it gets some nostalgia points because Pokemon White was the second Pokemon game I ever owned. But that's not only why it's good. It's very good. I felt it had good pacing, good mechanics, and the end of it was very good when you had to fight N instead of Alder as the champion. Overall, I found it to be pretty good. Now, I only ever completed Black 2 and White 2 once, but I've seen many Let's Plays on it, and it's a very good game. Overall, great, solid games. Everyone hates the anime adaptation for some reason, but I feel it's actually pretty good. Overall, it's not the best, but it's in my top 3. Overall, Generation 5 is a very good generation, and it only gets better from this point on. Coming in at number 3 is Generation 2. Now, once I figured out that Visual Boy Advance could play older games, I downloaded Pokemon Crystal. I've probably played it 20 times since. Generation 2 is probably the biggest game of the biggest world since it had 2 regions. The first region being Johto, and second region being Kanto, and also the amazing final battle against Red. These games were great games, and I've really enjoyed them, and I've played them multiple times. The anime adaptation was completely awful and filler-filled, but the Generation 2 games made up for it in spades, allowing these to be in the number 3 spot. Coming in the number 2 spot is Generation 4. This was always my number 1 generation until very recently. Pokemon Pearl was the first Pokemon game I ever owned. But nostalgia isn't the only reason why I like this. These games were great. They had a good story, a good Pokemon selection, and were overall the best games I ever played. But in Diamond and Pearl, they had a major problem that there were only 2 fire types in the game. your starter, Chimchar, or Ponyta, but Platinum fixed this up. If Diamond and Pearl were the only 2 games in this generation, I probably wouldn't rate it as high, but Platinum's a great game and is in the top 5 games I've ever played. Now, the Generation 2 remakes, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, were probably the best remakes Nintendo ever produced. They have the Pokemon that go after you, and I thought that was a great addition, seeing your Pokemon walk with you. I'm sad they never brought that back, but nowadays it's too hard to have a full 3D model, and I understand that. Overall, this is a very good generation, and it has to be great to surpass, but the next one is much better. The number 1 spot is Generation 7. These are the best Pokemon games I have ever played, and in the top 3 of games I have ever played. In my opinion, of course. It changed a formula that desperately needed to be changed. They replaced gyms with trials, and HMs with the ride Pokemon. The formula was starting to get really old after a while. Collect HMs, fight gyms, fight the league, become champion, fight off an evil team. And they still kept some of that to keep it a core Pokemon game, but they changed up a lot of things that desperately needed to be changed. They had the best story with the Aether Foundation and Ultra Beasts, and overall made up for the best Pokemon games I've ever played. If this generation adds Diamond and Pearl remakes, that'll definitely solidify Generation 7 as the best generation ever, unless something completely beyond belief comes out. Well, overall, I like all generations of Pokemon, just some more than others. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in another video. Until then, goodbye.